Welcome to the Scoop podcast, the women's cricket podcast, where we talk all things cricket, everything that happens on the sidelines, everything that happens in the locker rooms. We're going to be covering over the next 6 weeks the Australia-India series and a little bit of the WNCL, and I would never do it on my own. Of course, I have the incomparable WBBL superstar, Victoria's very own hands-free mountain bike rider, Molly Strano. Hello, Mol.
Hi, Rana.
I've just outed you once again. You told us last week that you know how to ride a mountain bike without using your hands, and I've not forgotten it.
Well, I told you that was my secret hidden talent, but it's secret no more.
No. I think that should be shouted from the rooftops. It's been a huge week in cricket. We finally kicked off this Australia-India series. You also played over the weekend. How'd you go?
I played yesterday with the Vics, and unfortunately the WA girls were too good for us. But it's been a big week. We've had the first T20 in the Australia-India series. We had the Governor-General's match, and I have to give a little I know we don't necessarily focus on men's cricket as such, but just have to give a quick shout out to the Italian men in the World Cup. They got their first win against Nepal, so me and my nonna were very excited about that result.
I'm so thrilled for you and your nonna, and I was so thrilled to just watch Italians play cricket. I don't know why. I mean, this is my own bias turning up, but it still feels like quite a novelty, really. But I guess they do. They're loving it.
It is quite a novelty. It's even funny seeing the Italian flag waved in a cricket stadium. Like, that's a little bit of a funny sight as well. But it's really cool how the game's spreading and in some smaller countries and countries that aren't renowned for their cricketing prowess. Some teams are in the World Cup and doing really well. So really exciting to see.
Australian, Italian boys in that side as well, which is very cool. But of course, you play cricket, so we should have known. Plenty to talk about today, actually. We're going to be chatting with Nic Carey as well, who's made her way back into this Australian side. Lots to ask her. But I wanted to quickly talk to you about this weird loss on the weekend for the Australian team. Australia, you were bowled out for 133. The rain had a big part to play in it. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, it was a great start by the Indians as well. Sometimes it takes touring teams a little while to become accustomed to our conditions over here, and sometimes teams can be slow starting when they come to Australian soil. But the Indian girls were out of the blocks, and it was such a shame that it was a rain-affected match, and I feel like the toss had a massive part to play in that as well. The Indians were lucky enough to win the toss and bowl first, and I think you can control the game a little bit more when you're in that position. But, it was interesting, and it makes me really, really excited for the second T20 now.
Oh, tell me about it. It was unsatisfying, and I think we're going to talk to Nic Carey about that later and ask her how she felt about it. But there's so much more in that series to come. Molly, the other huge thing that happened this week is, of course, the Australian Cricket Awards. Not an event this year, so few people missed out on frocking up and eating their poached chicken, but we still got the awards. Did you? You've obviously been, haven't you?
I've been to a few and I thoroughly enjoyed the night. And I know it's a night that the girls really enjoy too, because it's not often that you can get your hair and your makeup done and put a nice frock on. So I'm sure the girls are pretty sad that the event didn't go ahead, but nonetheless, the award winners were announced during the week.
They were, and there's some big, big names in this awards list. Let me run through a few for you. The Belinda Clark Award and ODI Player of the Year went to Annabelle Sutherland, of course. Beth Mooney named T20 International Player of the Year. Nic Carey, who we're going to be talking to in a little while, won Domestic Player of the Year. And Kiva Bray, the Betty Wilson Young Cricketer of the Year. And, of course, Alex Blackwell inducted into the Australian Cricket Hall of Fame. Incredible. I feel like Australian women's cricket has not only, it's always been around, but this list of names tells us that we're in full flight now, Australian women's cricket. These are just incredible superstars, and I feel so lucky that we actually get to witness all of this.
It is really cool. And then someone like Kiva Bray, who won Young Cricketer of the Year, she's already a household name. She's played WBBL cricket and played really well for New South Wales Breakers when she's had the opportunity. So she's got a bright future ahead. But there's one name that I wanted to talk about, and an award winner on the night as well, which was Josie Dooley. She won the Community Impact Award, and Jules is a former teammate of mine at the Renegades, and she's a player that's so universally loved. But in 2024, Jules was tragically suffered a severe stroke, and ever since that moment, Jules has had a significant impact on the community by raising awareness for stroke recovery. And Jules this year helped The Royal Brisbane and Women's Hospital appeal raised over $50,000. But not only that, she also raised funds for the Stroke Foundation by participating in the Bridge to Brisbane Walk, which was a 5K. So massive shout out to Dools. What a human, and what an impact she's having now off the field post that horrible incident.
What an incredible person. I'm so glad she's getting that recognition. That is huge, to not just give your time to the game, but also make the world a better place. What is the group chats like when these awards get handed out? Especially because it wasn't an event. Normally you'd all be in the same room, but was your phone going off the hook?
Well, I'm sure Belsey's phone was going off the hook, and it was actually announced mid-match. So prior to the game, you have to hand your phone in for PMOA reasons. So I'm sure once Belsey got her phone back that night post that T20, I'm sure it went off.
It's just so hilarious to me that they would have all just how do you celebrate an award when you're not actually in the room? I kind of love it. Poor James Sutherland's phone would probably also be off the hook. We've got plenty more to come. We're going to talk to Nic Carey after this and actually ask her how she's feeling about this series. One underway, but plenty more to come. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Scoop podcast. Joining us now is the Domestic Player of the Year as awarded on Sunday night by Cricket Australia. She's a championship-winning all-rounder and one of the great comeback stories in Australian cricket right now. Nic Carey, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh, look, congratulations, first of all. How does it feel to have won that award?
Well, thank you. It was a bit of a shock, to be honest. I remember voting in it not that long ago, but I actually hadn't given it much thought after doing that. So, yeah, when Jude announced it, when we had a training session with the Tigers and Jude sort of brought everyone in, I was thinking, what's going on here? And I still didn't really cotton onto it. So it actually caught me by surprise. But, yeah, I guess it's a nice little award, I suppose.
Is it weird? We were just talking about this before, going over all the awards. Is it weird to have an award ceremony and not be there to get the award? Are they going to mail it to you?
I'm not sure, but do you know what? To be honest, I love that you don't have to attend a full-on, big thing where there's, it gets a bit full-on for me. So I'm actually if they could do that every year, that would be fantastic.
I love that. I actually relate, no heels, no kind of getting dolled up. I appreciate it. When you receive an award like this, surely it's a kind of moment of reflection for you. And when you look back on your career, not that it's by any means over in any way, but at this point in time where you're at, you've just been returned to the Australian side. What are the proudest moments for you when you think back?
I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't really actually given it a lot of thought. Obviously, the thing that sticks out for me in the last 12 months, Molly, you will know, the winning the Big Bash with the Hurricanes, that's obviously a huge highlight. Something that we've spent a lot of years, trying to achieve, and bringing people like Molly down into Tasmania, and growing that group over the last few years. And I feel like we've sort of slowly been making our way to, the finals and pushing further along in that. So to get it done this year, yeah, it was huge for cricket in Tasmania, and that's probably definitely top of the tree for me this year.
Nic, Molly, your great friend here. Over the last 12 months, what I've loved most is you've had these really cool opportunities at franchise level. You had your first taste, not your first taste, but in more recent times, you went back to the 100 and you played in the final there for the Superchargers. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really unexpected, obviously. Poor Georgia Wareham picked up a little bit of an injury, so I went over there as an injury replacement. So to even get the opportunity to go over there was really cool and really unexpected. And then I had so much fun with that group. Great coaching staff. We obviously had Beamsy there and Lisa as the coach, which was really fun. And I guess to make the final and then to win the final was a really cool experience. And I don't know. I feel like I've had a lot of weird little experiences where I wasn't really expecting it in the last, few months or so, maybe in the last 12 months. But it's all been really exciting. And I absolutely loved it over there.
You spoke of Lisa, you spoke of Beamsy. They must have liked your work in the 100, because then they drag you across to the Mumbai Indians. Again, I'm so fascinated by the WPL. It just seems like it gets bigger and bigger every year, and the cricket lovers over in India just thrive watching that competition and supporting it. What was that one like? That was your first experience in the WPL. Can you talk us through what it was like playing for one of the biggest franchises in the world?
Yeah, it was really cool. It was very different to probably the experiences that I've had playing in the WBBL. They're all really unique in their own little way. But I would say the WPL is a whole other level of unique, just with all the the fanfare and just like the support, so the amount of people that you have with your team and the people that travel with you, it seems quite outrageous when you actually look at what you have in the Big Bash and even the 100, and you're really well resourced in those programs. So the stuff that is on top of that over there is next level. It was probably, obviously the competition's been around for a few years now, and I'd heard a few things from different girls that have played in it over the years. So I feel like that kind of prepares you a little bit. I think if I had no idea and walked into that, I would be extremely overwhelmed. But I'm glad that I've people sort of word you up on what to expect and basically expect the unexpected and just go with it. And if you can do that, then it was actually a really enjoyable experience. So I loved my time over there, and working with some familiar coaches as well made it really nice. We had a great group as well. So we didn't go that well this year, unfortunately, but nonetheless, loved the experience.
Just on that, with all the extra bells and whistles that come with all of that and the support, does it change your game at all? Did you notice anything different?
The only thing that I noticed was there was a camera in your face basically everywhere you went. If you went to the bathroom, there was a bit of privacy there, so they weren't everywhere, but it was just an extraordinary people around all the time. But you sort of got used to it, like, they were your crew, so you got used to seeing all these people. And I don't know. That was probably the one thing. Like, everything was on social media. I had to do some embarrassing things on social media, and I definitely heard about it. The amount of things of my own horrible content that got sent to me on Instagram. I actually couldn't watch it, and then it got played in a team meeting, and I nearly died. But,
well, go on, tell us. What was your most cringe moment? You had to do?
Take your pick. There was a few, like, you know what I mean? Like, because they asked you, I know I'm not huge on social media, so anything seems really out there for me. So they're really big on TikTok, and Molly, as you know, I'm not really that up to date with TikTok. I don't have it. It wouldn't be good for me. I'd go down rabbit holes. So all these trends that they get you to do as if you know what they are, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. And then you film something, and straight away I'm like, that can't possibly get aired because I will be horrified. And then before you know it, it's out there.
Probably not a part of the game that you ever expected you'd have to do. Playing for Australia, though, I'm sure is something that you always wanted as a young person playing this game. How does it feel now to be back in the side?
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Like good weird. Again, another thing that I wasn't really expecting. And then I guess I was in India for the WPL when I found out. So, and then came home. I've been home for about a week, and it's sort of all been a bit of a whirlwind getting back, and then you're only home for a bit and then getting ready and then coming here. So I haven't had heaps of time to sort of think about it. And then walking back into the group, it's actually quite a familiar space in that the group's actually very similar in terms of personnel, players and staff. There's a few new additions with the staff, but everything's kind of the same. So it's been good. The girls have been really welcoming. It's only early days, obviously not off to a flyer the other night, but it's obviously a long series, plenty more games to come. So only up from there, I hope.
It was a weird game. The rain didn't help matters, but what was the mood like after that? Because after, so much build up to kind of have a weird rained out game, what happens actually when that happens in the squad?
Not much. Everyone's played in all these games. Like, you never love the rain delay stuff. You sort of just want to get out there and everything happen. There's already so much that you're probably thinking about, and the weather's not one of those things that you want to add to that list. So you kind of just want it to get out there. But I mean, the first innings was uninterrupted once we got out there, and probably wasn't too disruptive in terms of, on, off. So that probably, that probably doesn't impact you as much as when you're sort of going on and off and reduced overs and whatnot. But I guess the start that we had, it's not ideal. I guess dropping the first game in a series. This group's played a game of T20 cricket together in 12 months, is what they said, which shocked me as well. So hopefully it's just a little bit of rust and, blow out the cobwebs. And, we've got a few days of training now leading up to the next game. And, we'll definitely be looking to improve on that performance.
You're a formidable side. I have no doubt that there will be a bounce back. It's very hard to get a spot in this side in the first place. What's that internal competition like? Because I can imagine there is a little bit of tension around that.
Well, to be honest, you can't really feel the tension if there is any. It's I think everyone's pretty aware of, how good a side it is and how hard it is, not only a spot in the squad, but I guess a spot in the 11. So, I mean, anytime you miss out on the playing 11, it's really disappointing, and no doubt girls would be disappointed because we've got some incredible talent that have done some amazing things for this team sitting on the sidelines, and maybe they will get a crack at some point, which would be great for them. But it's no doubt tough missing out. And, I guess that's sort of, people always say it, but I guess that's the sort of squad that you want, where it's competition for spots in the 11, and this team's no different. So anyone could get a crack at any moment. So I guess you just have to wait and see how it unfolds.
Nick, the next game's on Thursday. I'm guessing you and the team are already in Canberra prepping for that. Are there anything specifically that you guys are working on or talking about? Well, hopefully none of the Indian girls are listening to this, but in prep for that next game on Thursday night?
Oh, I'm sure they're all tuning into this. Absolutely they are.
Huge fans.
I've heard them. Harmonpreet's a massive fan of the scoop. I've heard that.
Jemmy is as well.
Yeah. They'll plug it on socials for sure. Nothing. I guess it's all just T20 stuff, isn't it? You know, you do a bit of some small scenario stuff, you know, based around whether it's death bowling or, you know, I think today we've got a bit of a super over scenario happening at training. So they sort of just throw different things in there, and I guess different situations that you could be faced with in the game, I guess. So it's kind of, a lot of focus on us and what we can do, and I guess individually working out your plans to different batters. They've obviously got an incredible team, extremely explosive, done some good stuff, in 50-20 cricket over the last little period. So, there's a few things that we do work on there, and obviously, you know, in between games, you don't get heaps of time. So when you can sneak that sort of stuff in, it's hugely valuable.
You've played in so many different types of games, whether it's finals, championships, international games. I'm really interested in what prep looks like for you. Is it mental? Are you doing physical things? Do you have rituals? Take us into what pre-game looks like for you.
It's pretty crazy. Like, I'm not hugely superstitious or anything like that. I don't have this, game day routine that I must follow strictly every game. It's pretty crazy. Like, you know, you always have training leading up to games, and always tinkering with things, whether that's, you know, certain plans that you're trying to work on that you might bring into that game. I guess you sort of work on that in training, and see how that unfolds. But nothing too different really. Like, I'm probably one of the cruisier ones in terms of prep. I guess for me, it's like, I reckon coming back into this space, like I think about the other night, I was actually quite nervous, which was probably very obvious, but like, I don't know, that like, I'm always nervous playing games, but I guess it's probably a bit more for me, like actually perhaps in the way that I'm thinking about the game, and, hopefully having some more positive thinking leading into those things. But I think that's probably the bit for me that I probably need to probably focus a little bit more on, being in a different team, different environment. That sort of brings different, feelings and emotions. So, I guess just getting into as positive a headspace as you can headings. And I guess when you get out there, you want to be able to back yourself and back your skills and whatever got you here. So, that's probably something I'll be focusing on a bit more.
You obviously had an amazing last 12 months. You've won this award on Sunday night. What are you hoping you can achieve over the next 12 months? Do you set goals like that for yourself?
Oh, I haven't. I don't really. I've said this a lot lately, but, you know, I've sort of been really happy just doing what I've been doing. And I think through that, these little opportunities have popped up here and there, you know, with the 100 and the WPL. I feel like one thing sort of led to another. So, like, I don't really set any lofty goals. I don't really have any expectations of, you know, even being in this squad. Like, I don't know what that means long term or anything like that. I'm here in this squad for the white ball series, and I'll do my best if I get the chance, and whatever comes from that comes from that. But either way, like, I'm really happy. If this pans out, so be it. If it doesn't, like, I'm also okay. And I'm kind of happy going with the flow in that regard. I don't really want to put too many expectations on it, because the way that I've gone about it in the last little period, I've really enjoyed my cricket, and I don't know, I felt really relaxed going about it, and I've enjoyed that. And I think that's, I guess, helped me on the field as well. So I wouldn't want to change that and start thinking, you know, all these things that could potentially happen in the future, because at the end of the day, I can't really control it anyway. So I'm just going to go with it and see where it takes me.
Nick, one question to sign out here. I know one of your routines when you are in Tassie is to spend some quality time with Nessa, who's your beloved puppy. How are you coping with the separation anxiety at the moment?
Yeah, not good. I was a bit flat actually the other day. As I said, I was only home for a week. So I thought I would get this massive reception when I got home from India, and it just wasn't the case at all. I think she was actually a bit annoyed at me. So I was a bit flat about that. So anyway, so I had to put in some hard work in the last little week, and then I've left her again. So no doubt when I get home, she'll be off me again for a little bit. But yeah, no, I love it. If I could travel with Ness, I don't see why it can't happen. I know Virgin do. I don't know if we can plug Virgin here, but I know they do. You can fly with pets. Maybe maybe if Qantas could, let us travel with some pets, and I don't know, this could be a pet-friendly hotel. I've seen a couple of dogs in the lobby. So, if we could get all that happening, that would be amazing if Nessa could come along everywhere because I bloody love her.
Nick, we've got the new MOU that's about to get signed off. Maybe we can ask for puppy period rather than partner period. Or maybe we could do both. They could coexist. But leave it with me. I'll speak to Paul Marsh.
That's a fantastic idea. I love that. Yeah, absolutely. We can't sign off on the next MOU until that gets approved.
There we go. Let's clip that up and make sure that goes viral. It's going to happen. And players everywhere will thank you. We have to thank you so much for joining us today, Nick. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. I love getting inside, actually, how chill you are. I feel like you're just the coolest, calmest athlete I've ever chatted to. But congratulations again on the award over the weekend, and also good luck for the rest of the series.
Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh, Molly, that was such a great chat with Nic Carey. She's a gem.
Yeah, I love Nick. She's one of the all-time great teammates. I thoroughly enjoy playing alongside her because she's a fierce competitor on the field, but off the field she's so much fun and a really relaxing and calm presence around the change room.
I'm glad that they have her because they don't have Elyse Healy at the moment, although she did turn up to the actual game, which was a weird vibe, I think, for everyone. It sort of was like, oh no, we've got Elyse Healy here, but she's not out there. What do you think this side's going to need to do to replace that presence?
Well, it's so interesting because within one player, which was Elyse Healy, she actually covered 3 roles. There was the captaincy, the wicket keeping, and she also opened the batting. So it was always going to be interesting to see how that played out and evolved. Last week, we got the information that Soph Molyneux will be taking the reins as skipper. Probably everyone, knew that Beth Mooney would take the gloves. She's been the backup wicketkeeper for a very long time, waiting for this opportunity to have the gloves herself and to be the number 1 wicketkeeper. But the biggest question mark probably lied around who was going to open the batting. And a few names are in the mix. There was Georgia Vole, Grace Harris, and there were a few other names thrown out there. But what we saw on Sunday night is the Australian team has gone with Georgia Vole. Which is a really cool opportunity for Volley because her T20 game has come a long way in the last 24 months. She was at the Brisbane Heat and was sort of batting in that 8, 9, 10 sort of region. She moved to the Sydney Thunder to get an opportunity to open the batting. And within 12 months post that move, she's found herself in the Australian team and now opening the batting for Australia in the T20 format. And because she's a younger player, I see them investing in her and giving her a good opportunity to make this position her own. And I wouldn't be surprised if she opens the batting come to the World Cup in England later this year.
I was going to ask you about that because I suspect we're going to see a few different combinations this series to kind of work out where we're at ahead of the World Cup.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because there's only 3 T20s in this tri-series. So I probably now, with no other games upcoming prior to the World Cup, I feel like they'll stick with Volley at the top now. They'll give her these 3 T20s in this series, and then she'll have a bit of a build-up into the World Cup. But I expect the Australian team to now stick with Volley in that position up top with Beth Mooney.
I don't mind it. I actually really am pleased for her, and you're right. It's good to kind of see her get a go. A huge gap now for the Australian side to fill, but Sophie Molyneux did a great job. I mean, it was like we've talked about already. It was a shorter game, so she didn't get to really flex her muscles. How do you think she's going so far?
I actually felt a little bit sorry for Soph because the worst games to captain are the rain-affected ones. But it was really cool to see her lead the team out. Goosebumps areas when you're watching her walk out for the toss and the national anthem and her having that opportunity to actually physically lead the team out there, which was really cool. She also managed to snag her first wicket as captain, which the Scoop podcast was really happy about because we love Soph.
Yes, we do.
So it was really cool to see her, as I said, lead the team out and look like she was having fun doing so.
Did anyone else catch your eye? Because I have a few names, but I want to hear from you first.
Yeah, across both teams, actually. It was really cool to watch. I know the Australian team got bowled out with 2 overs to spare, but it was pretty clear to see that they are planning to go really hard with the bat. Everyone that came in was ultra aggressive. Elyse Perry was scoring like close to 200 strike rate. She was ramping. She was playing 360 game, which is sometimes a part of her game that she brings in once she's in and settled and faced 20, 30 balls. But from ball, I think it was maybe ball 3, she tried to ramp a ball over the wicketkeeper's head. So even one of the eldest players, sorry, Pez, for being in ages, but it's really cool to see that even one of the eldest players in the team is still looking for ways to evolve her game. So I thought Pez was outstanding and her intent from the get-go was awesome. But yeah, I don't want to steal all the names from your mouth, Rana. Who were you impressed by?
No, look, Pez was impressive, and I actually don't think it's ages at all to make note of her age and other people's age, because we need to see that. We need to see that at varying ages you can play at that elite level, and it's so inspiring. The other person that was inspiring to me was Arundhati Reddy, 4 for 22. I mean, I don't know. This Indian side, for the first time after watching them for years, they just seem confident. They just seem genuinely scary as an opposition. And I'm actually thrilled and excited to watch them take the field.
Yeah, I think a good sign of where a team is at is just the way that they come across. Like, they look so relaxed, they look so chilled, and you could tell that they meant business as well. And I was really excited to see Shafali Verma sort of go off at the top as well. She scored 21 off 11 balls, and her intent as well was amazing to see her go that hard from the get-go. And a special shout out to Georgia Wareham as well. I called for her to be considered as a genuine all-rounder in the first episode of the Scoop, and it was really nice to see her get an opportunity with the bat. She batted at number 6, and I think that's a spot that's great for Wolfie in T20 cricket because she's so explosive but is able to manipulate the field and find gaps like no other. So she top scored with 30 off 19 as well. So it was nice to see Wolf get a bit of time out in the middle with the bat.
Is that you taking credit for Wolfie's
100%.
There's plenty more of that from you, Strano. Look, new combinations we're seeing. We're seeing stars come to the fore. I cannot wait for the next few games. India and Australia, Thursday 19th at Manica Oval, 7:15 start. It is very, very exciting.
Yeah, this is a huge game. I know it's a multi-format series, as I mentioned earlier, but the T20 part of the series, Australia need to win the next match or else they lose the T20 league, which is important within itself as well. So there's all these little small contests within this multi-format series. So the Aussies are going to have to be on. Monica's renowned for being a pretty flat track and a high-scoring venue, so they're going to have to formulate some plans to try to nullify the impact of those Indian batters. So I'm so excited for Thursday night. I think it's going to be an awesome encounter. And as I said, the Aussies can't afford to let this one slip or else the T20 series is out of grasp.
Is the pressure on, though? I just feel I watched that and the, Soph herself is talking about, well, this isn't a false start, rain. I don't actually feel like they feel like the pressure's on, even if we're piling it on them. I actually just think that they're, even just talking to Nic Carey, I think they're just like, well, we've got this covered.
Yeah, I think I'm more stressed than everybody else. Nick was as cool as a cucumber. So seems pretty chill about it, so all good. I'm actually creating this false anxiety that probably doesn't exist.
I love that for this side. I love a bit of confidence. And yeah, the Indians are coming in with a bit of swagger, but I think our girls have quite a bit of swagger. Never left them. The other game is, of course, on Saturday, the 21st of February, my birthday, at Adelaide Oval. I won't be there, sadly, but plenty to come from this series. You mentioned Grace Harris before as a highlight of this side, and plenty that we're going to see from her. We've seen a little bit from her already on social media. She gave you the most incredible shout out. You have been honoured, my friend, in Grace Harris's Larrikin 11.
Sammy Jo Johnson, I'd pick her in the old Larrikin 11. She'd go all right. Number 11. Well, does Molly Strano count? It's not anything personal, Mo, but she get on real well in this team.
It's a really good 11.
I think it is. It's well balanced.
You are part of a very well-balanced Larrikin 11 as designated by Grace Harris herself. How do you feel?
Look, I'm not sure if that's a compliment or an insult, but I'm going to take it as a compliment.
Yeah,
so, Grace, thank you for the selection, honour. Bit flat that I'm batting at 11. Was it 11 that I'm batting at?
You were.
Bit flat about that. But anyway, thanks, Grace. Very much appreciate the selection.
What did you do to Grace Harris that made her, of all the people? You were in there with like Booney and, I don't know, some randoms that aren't even cricket players. You've clearly got a place in her brain as the number one, the queen of Larrikin.
Look, I think I can put my finger on it. Grace played 1 year with the Renegades. I think it might have been in WBBL 02, 03, 04, around that sort of time. And that was probably when I was at my rascalish best. So she probably has memories of me being a bit of a rat bag for the Renegades. So that's how I probably gained selection, I would imagine. So yeah, it only took 1 year to convince Grace that I was an out and out rat bag.
I want to see some of that rat bag come to the Scoop podcast. I'm expecting it next week. Who would you put on your Larrikin 11?
Oh, it's a tough one. I've played with a few. Special shout out goes to one of my mates, Emily Smith. I played with her in Tasmania. She's also had a little dabble in the AFLW as well. Like, she's a certified rat bag. It's one of those people that lose their passport fortnightly and, here, there and everywhere. So Smitty would get selection. She'd probably be even in the leadership group of the Larrikin 11.
You captaining.
But the thing is with this Grace's 11 is I would actually be pretty nervous if there was a point where the team physically had to come together, because I'm not sure David Boone and I are on great terms actually from some of my Tassie days. And I don't know if I really want to kiss and tell the story, but anyway, here I am.
Yeah. You can't do that to us.
So
tell me later then.
Well, I can just give you a little bit of a scoop on the scoop. It was during the Hurricane celebrations that I stole our CEO's phone, Don Baker, and I decided to FaceTime Booney because I really wanted him to come down to the celebrations, and I ended up chewing his ear off for about 20 minutes. So I'm not sure how much Booney appreciated that, but a big shout out to David Boone. I apologise. I can't guarantee it will never happen again, because if we win the Hurricanes title again, I'll be FaceTiming you. But I'm just not sure what sort of terms Booney and I are on at the minute.
I'm sure that was done totally sober as well.
Yes.
Knowing you while he's trying to. I love that. There's always a tipping point in Larrikin behaviour, but I think that's on the right side of Larrikin.
I think I was pushing the boundaries a little bit there, so sorry, Booney.
I'm surprised Travis Head didn't make it, to be honest, into that
Travis
side.
Head would definitely be my 11, and I reckon even Mitch Marsh. He could organise the fishing trip in Perth on our Perth leg of the junket. So I'd put Mitch Marsh in my 11 as well.
I don't care about the PM's 11 anymore. This is the only side I want to watch now. Congratulations to you, Molly. Grace, keep it coming. We want to hear all of your iterations of Larrikin 11s, and let us know as well if you're watching and listening who might be on your Larrikin 11. All right, well, that's enough silliness. After this break, we are going to go around the grounds and talk all things cricket, WNCL and everything else. All right, Molly, let's go around the grounds because there is a lot going on in the WNCL and everywhere else. I want to start with Elyse Villani because she is incredible at the moment.
Yeah, this is a real special one, actually. So last week, Elyse played her 146 WNCL games. So, Rana, that's a lot of warm-ups and a lot of recovery sessions. So big shout out to Elyse.
God.
But in doing so, she's now broken the game's record for WNCL cricket, which is pretty special. And that spans over a 19-year career at this level. She's the second highest run scorer in WNCL history with 5,255 runs. And she's only 266 behind Karen Rolton. And I'm sure Karen Rolton won't want Elyse Villani to catch her. Shout out to Rolts. And in her time as well, she's played 99 international appearances. And this is her fifth year captaining Tasmania after also having stints with her native Victoria and WA. So I don't even really know where to start to do this justice because Elyse is one of my very best friends and I'm super proud of her for achieving this. And not only has she had a huge impact on my career as a cricketer, but even as a friend as well. So I'm lucky to call Elyse a lifelong friend, but not only that, from a personal level, she's one of the ultimate professionals. And I think of her time more recently down in Tasmania and the impact she had on that organisation and her leadership. She has this special ability to bring a group of players together, but not only the players, it's the support staff as well. So she's such a wonderful leader, both on and off the field. And yeah, hopefully when she has a little bit of time post her playing days, hopefully she can sip on her favourite little drink, which is a weak flat white, and really look back proudly of the career that she's had because it's been nothing but outstanding.
Okay, so I'm remembering that. If I want to shout her a coffee, it's a weak flat white. Do you think there's something about particularly women's cricketers, and maybe I'm biased, it's possible. I love this game and I love the women that play this sport. There's something very selfless about the leaders that turn up in Australian women's cricket, and Elyse Villani is one of them. And I just don't feel like she gets talked about enough for what she has done and can do for a team. Like you say, the way she can impact a culture of an organisation. I just feel like she goes unnoticed. I'm so glad that you brought her up. What is she like, though, behind the scenes? Because I've only seen her in kind of professional mode.
It's a hard one to sum up, Elyse, because she's so much fun. She brings so much joy and energy to the change rooms, but when she needs to, knuckle down and be serious, she's also great in that aspect as well. So there's so many layers to Elyse in the most beautiful way, and that's why she is such a great leader. She can sort of ride the waves and sort of get a sense of what the group wants and needs at that particular time as well. But yeah, you say that she might not outwardly get the, recognition that she does, but I can tell you that internally at Cricket Tasmania, she is celebrated, she's respected, and they really care for her down there. So it's really nice that she's been able to sign off from her career down in Tassie where, she just won the WBBL for the Hobart Hurricanes, and that was our inaugural title as well. And then she was a part of the first ever winning WNCL team down in Tassie as well. And then we experienced the three-peat down there. So she's had a huge amount of success since moving down south. And yeah, I think that will be a chapter of her career that I have no doubt that she'll look back on very fondly.
I love hearing you talk about your teammates. You just get a sparkle in your eye. It's gorgeous. Let's talk about WNCL. What is going on, Molly?
Well, there is a bit going on. With the WNCL tournament, only the top two teams go through to a final. So there's not a top four where you sort of can sneak your way in. You genuinely have to be in the best two teams of the competition for the whole season without too many hiccups to make the final. So I was looking at the table last night, and unfortunately my Victorians, we had a bit of a loss, but there's 4 teams in the race. So it's starting to really heat up in the WNCL, and it looks like New South Wales will progress through. They're 8-0 at the moment, so they're flying. But then you have Queensland, South Australia and WA that are all fighting for that second position. And for me, I think the SA list is so strong, and I see them finishing in that sort of second position. But I think it's going to come down to the wire because New South Wales and SA finish playing each other. So SA are going to have to beat the best team in the competition maybe twice to progress through to the final. So there's a lot on the line.
There is a lot on the line. You're bearing the lead, though. You actually played really well yesterday. Did you feel good out there?
Oh, it was scorching hot. So I felt hot. That's what I felt. But no, I've been batting down in the sort of middle to lower order. So I was really lucky to combined with Tess Flintoff yesterday, who made her first ever 100 for Victoria, which was
amazing.
Which was really special. It's something as I've got older that I've really enjoyed watching younger players reach these really cool milestones and do some really cool things on the cricket pitch. And not only did Tess make her first 100 for Victoria, but we actually played this game out in Ringwood, which was her childhood cricket club. So there was a nice little, nice little connection piece there where a lot of the people involved with the Ringwood Cricket Club were there because they were hosting the game, but that was Tess's home ground growing up.
If people want to get in on the WNCL, if they've been kind of sitting out of it for the last little while, where do they tune in? Like, how should they start to engage with this competition? Because you're right, the run home now is getting very interesting. And are there any kind of storylines in particular you want people to pay attention to?
Oh, that's a really good one. Well, New South Wales are looking to go back to back, so that's a big one as well. SA have been there or thereabouts. When I was playing for Tasmania, we played SA twice, and the one game was quite close, and another game we pinched from them. So they've been there or thereabouts and are really thirsty for some success. So yeah, as I said, it's going to get hot towards the end, but all the games are streamed live on KO and online. If you go on cricket.com.au, all the scores are live updated on there as well. But if you want to get down to a WNCL game, I would strongly encourage you to go down because the quality of cricket is extraordinary. And our game yesterday, we had Heather Graham playing for WA, so she's CA contracted. We had Alana King bowling for WA as well, CA contracted. Tess Flintoff, CA contracted. So there's some supremely talented players rolling out in the WNCL. So if you want to go down and watch, I would strongly encourage you to do so.
We're going to have to get Alana King in here because I'm such a fan. I don't know why CA don't sell Kingy sunglasses as merch. Like that's just there for the taking. On that note, that's it for this week for the Scoop podcast. There is so much more we could talk about, and we're going to be back again next week because there'll be plenty more games to unpack, not just the scoreboard but also the inside chat, which I love getting from you. You always give us the inside scoop. See what I did there? Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back next week.